Welcome to another episode of the Finding Serenity in the Midst of Chaos podcast. Today, we're talking about how to find your life's purpose after a lifetime of childhood trauma. This episode especially relates to you if you're feeling a little lost, stuck, or lacking direction in life whilst navigating past trauma. If you're unsure of how to move forward from the past pain to rebuild your life, and if you're searching for a sense of purpose that aligns with healing and growth while helping others along the way. Stay tuned because by the end of this episode, you will gain insight into how your intuition and emotional resilience can guide you towards healing and fulfillment. You'll discover a hidden connection to your healing power and how spiritual tools can help you transform your pain into strength. So stay tuned. Hello, Mahesha. Today's guest is Mahesha Rice. Hello and welcome, Mahesha.
Hi, to Live. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's lovely to have you today. I think our listeners are in a bit of a treat today because you are the most transformed person I've seen in the recent years in my life. And I'm just in awe of your whole story. So I just want all of our listeners to hear what your story has been, because no matter where you are in life, what you've experienced, there's always light at the end of the tunnel if you choose to follow it, isn't it? So Mahesha, before we even delve into all of that, please tell us who you are, what you do, and who you help.
Of course. So, hello, everyone. My name is Mahesha Rice. I'm a Reiki Master and teacher. I'm also an EFT practitioner and an NLP coach. And I'm very passionate advocate for holistic healing. My journey has been shaped by overcoming personal challenges, childhood trauma, and discovering the power of tools like Reiki, EFT tapping, and meditation. And these practices have not only transformed my own life, but also inspired me to help others find healing, self-love, and personal growth. So, yeah, I love sharing those with others and helping people build a toolkit to help themselves and find inner peace.
Amazing, so nice. And well, what actually got you onto this journey in the first place, Mahesha?
My childhood was filled with a lot of hardship, and those experiences shaped me in ways that I didn't fully understand until quite later in life. When I was 8 years old, I was adopted. I moved from Sri Lanka, leaving my biological parents and my sisters behind to move to France to live with my adopted parents. But being adopted at such a young age and having to leave your biological family behind at age that you already understand is very, very hard for a child. And to top all that up, I faced sexual abuse for many years of my life. And that all created deep feelings of abandonment, betrayal, and loss of identity, and also not feeling safe. And for a long time, I felt like I didn't belong anywhere. I didn't know where my home was, didn't belong to Sri Lanka, didn't belong to France. I don't know who I was. And these experiences left emotional scars that carried into obviously my adult life.
Wow.
However, what I like to say is those experiences also ignite my a deep desire for independence. And I knew that if I wanted to find peace, I had to also take control of my life and help heal these wounds and reclaim my own power.
Yeah.
And learn to trust in my own strength, which you don't always see. And over time, I realized that these hardships that I went through, the trauma that I lived, gave me the resilience that I needed to speak or to seek my own healing, I would say, and find my freedom.
Yeah.
And without those experiences that I went through, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, living the life that's aligned with my purpose, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, what was one event that really triggered all of that from trauma and really being in a really bad place, if you like, to completely changing it and just having the fire in yourself to make that change?
So actually, that's quite recent. About 4 years ago, my
Okay.
adopted mom passed away.
Okay.
And I went into this really, really dark place. I was very depressed, living with anxiety, and I was very angry. And nobody, including myself, couldn't understand what was going on because obviously my relationship with my adopted mother wasn't the best.
Mm.
And that's where I think my healing journey started. And with the help of therapy and many other things that I tried, I came to realize that, yes, I was grieving, but maybe not the most common grief that most people go through when they lose someone.
Mm.
I was just very angry. I felt like my adopted mother had escaped things that had happened to me,
Mm.
um, that I never really got, an apology, or I didn't see any regret. And and that's where my healing journey began. I think that was my breakthrough, really,
Yeah.
to realize that there's still so much anger, and that I needed so much help.
Mm.
And the first step to healing is recognizing that, and
Yeah.
saying I need help.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where everything kind of started for me.
Oh, wow. I'm still like listening to you, or everything. So you mentioned a couple of tools, like Reiki and EFT tapping for the benefit of our listeners. Can you tell us about what they are and how they helped you so far?
Okay, so there's two tools that I use mostly, and that
Mm.
kind of got me into the path of spirituality, but also healing myself. And
Mm.
I would say the first one that came to my life was Reiki. Reiki is a Japanese technique that uses energy to help reduce stress, promote relaxation, and support healing in
Mm.
general. And then there's also EFT tapping, which is a combination of modern psychology and ancient Chinese acupressure.
Mm.
And it's a very simple tool to use, yet so very powerful to create profound emotional shifts.
Yeah.
Um, if, depending on what you work through, obviously it's very much helpful to work with a therapist, but EFT tapping, there are also ways to learn to use it on yourself, by
Mm.
yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to shift daily emotional barriers that you're
Yeah.
having. So yeah, so for me, I would say along my path to healing, I've tried so many different tools, and some didn't work for me at all. Some
Mm.
others, I felt like they were making me feel worse than
Yeah.
better.
Mm.
Um, but I never gave up, and I kept, looking, because I knew there was something to help me out there.
Mm.
And Reiki, EFT tapping, and I would say mindfulness meditation have been the most transformative tools for me in my
Mm.
hurling journey.
Yeah.
And each one of those tools played a crucial role in helping me reconnect with myself.
Mm.
And tools like Reiki, you tap into the universal energy and release emotional blocks,
Yeah.
and follow your intuition to a path of healing. And EFT tapping is a powerful tool in addressing trauma, which is the biggest part of me that I had to work through, and emotions that I had buried for years.
Yeah.
And through tapping, I was able to release fear, anger, self-doubt, and it helped me process my pain in a way that felt safe again and
Mm.
empowering, allowing me to let go of negative beliefs that I had carried for so long with me.
Yeah.
Um, and then I would say meditation also provided me the space that I needed to quiet my mind.
Yeah.
It gave me the clarity to see who I truly was
Mm.
beneath the layers of trauma that helped me, and then healing and connecting with my purpose.
Yeah.
Those practices just became a way for me to ground myself, find inner peace, and navigate life with intention, and mostly being present and stop living in the past, and regrets, and yeah, just finding that inner peace. I think that you need to go forward in life and not live in the past.
Yeah, that's amazing. That they are the crucial words. Don't live in the past because the past is gone. There's nothing you can do about it. And releasing the anger, because of course anger is there for the reasons that you've described very well. But just let it, allowing to pass through you with the tools that you said is gonna help you. And for the benefits of our listeners, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it does exactly what it says. It frees you of those emotions that are no longer serving you, and keeping you stuck and keeping you keeping you from moving forward. And that's what Mahesha has found in herself. And the thing is, kind of the people that I work with, most of them are obviously very busy professional. They've got so many things going on in life, just like any woman, really. We've got pressures from work, pressures from household, looking after kids, looking after the husband, all of that. How can I sit down and meditate? How can I possibly, let my emotions be? What would you say to them?
So healing is deeply personal. We all
Mm,
heal from different things, and we've all faced these things in complete different ways.
mm,
And I don't think there's one tool that will help everybody. Like I said
mm,
earlier, I've tried different types of therapies, different types of tools, self tools, or help
mm,
with therapists or qualified people, and some worked for me, some didn't.
mm.
um, but for anyone who has experienced trauma or anything similar to what I have gone through or completely different, I think the first step is acknowledging that healing is possible, and asking for help as well, and not just keeping it all up inside. And you don't have to live in the shadow of your past forever.
Mm,
Finding the right tools and support is crucial. And whether that's through therapy, energy healing, tapping, or meditation, or something completely different. There's so many things out there, and I know sometimes it feels overwhelming as well.
mm,
But just don't give up, and keep looking for what works for you. The internet, I know there are negative things to it, but there's so much positive, beautiful things that come through the internet.
yeah.
So do some research, find what works for you, and
Mm,
start small, and along the journey, be kind to yourself. We are so good at being harsh and feeling
yeah.
guilty, thinking, have I done something wrong? Did I
Mm,
cause this trauma to myself? Did I allow it to happen?
yeah.
Um, but we have to let these things go and be kind to ourselves to be able to heal. Healing
Mm,
takes time and a lot of patience. And I think
yes.
sometimes we forget that. It's like weight loss, it takes us years to put weight on. And
Yeah.
then when we want to lose weight, we want things to happen in a month or two. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It takes, years of eating healthy, changing your lifestyle and your mindset. So it's the same with healing. I would also say surround yourself with people who uplift you and create a safe
Yeah.
space for your emotions. For me, the massive help was meeting my husband. We've been now
Mm,
together for 15 years. And when he came to my life, I still get emotional when I talk about it, because he changed my life. He really gave me a reason to wanting to heal, to build a life for myself and not to give up. So I think it's very important to surround yourself with the right people.
yeah.
You may not feel ready when you start that kind of journey. I don't think we ever are at the beginning,
Yeah.
but taking that one step forward, listening to your body, trusting that the universe has your back,
Mm,
is the way forward. And I think there are many paths to healing, different
yeah.
tools, like I said, but the key is to finding what resonates with you.
Mm,
And reclaiming your sense of self and purpose often begins with accepting where you are right now.
Yes.
And from there, you can move forward in a way that feels right for you. So healing is a journey. I always say healing is a journey, it's not a destination. And
Yeah.
along that journey, you will discover the peace and fulfillment that you so deserve. So yeah, just don't give up. Keep looking for what works for you. You might try something and think, "Oh, this doesn't work for me." Fine. But you might also come back to that. Like meditation for me, it took me months. I would
Yeah.
meditate 1 2 days and then I'm like, I can't do this. And then I'll stop and then I'll come back to it. And now it's so powerful for me, and it's something that I have to do every day.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes like I used to tell myself I have to meditate every day, I have to do it. And then if one day I don't do it, I'll be a bit upset with me, I'll be disappointed, and I'll talk to myself as, why didn't you do it? That's why you're not feeling very well today. Be kind to yourself. We are all human beings. There are things that we can't do all the time,
Yeah.
but trying and keep going to it and trusting that you deserve to heal is what's important. And yeah, be patient with yourself.
That's amazing. I was just like, yeah. But of all the things that you've said, one thing that I want to emphasize for our listeners is that it's the intention to heal. That's where it's going to start the journey. And that's when the determination will come. That's when nothing will get in your way, isn't it? You had the intention to let go of the past. And from that decision itself, you've already let go most of the baggage, because this is it now.
Exactly.
I'm going forward. I'm not looking back anymore. And that's where then we can come up with all sorts of excuses. I don't have the time. I don't need this. I've got so many things to do. This is not the right time for me. All of that, until you make that decision, all of those excuses will keep coming up for you, isn't it? You have the intention to heal, and therefore you found the right one for you because you were determined to make sure that you are going to be healed. And like you say, it's journey. You said it so well as well. We expect things to happen here and now, right now. It has to happen. But no, it's a journey, because again, that trauma didn't just happen overnight, did it? It's an accumulation of stuff that's come to your life, and it's going to take time to relieve you as well. I mean, of course, those really intense emotions you release very easily with those good, useful techniques, especially EFT. But everything else, because the more layers we open up, the more stuff comes up as well. But then you have now the tools to be able to heal all of that and to deal with that on a daily basis. To me, the moment you've decided you're going to heal and you're going to find a way, you've already found that peace. That acceptance brings you immediate peace, doesn't it? So,
Exactly, yeah.
so for those of you who may be suffering from whatever it is that you're suffering, something happened in the past, something that you feel that you have a condition for, whatever, anything is possible to change. And but it all comes down to what you decide to do, what you choose to do from this moment onwards. That's so powerful, isn't it? And we said, of course, you were in another profession before. You had a very successful career, and now you're changed direction completely. Just if there's any words that you want to say to anyone who wants to step into this journey themselves to help others, what would you say to them?
Um, so yes, just to give a bit of background, I was 15 years in software sales, which was very successful, like you said, and I really enjoyed it. But when I started my healing journey, I slowly kind of disconnected from that and felt like I was mostly running after money, and I wasn't following my purpose or my heart or what made me truly happy.
Yeah.
So what I would say is that listen to that, because when I felt disconnected, I started to doubt myself. I didn't really know what was going on. Why did I feel that disconnection suddenly? So listen truly to yourself and ask yourself what's going on, and pay attention to that little,
Niggle in your
thinking
head.
in your head. And um, it's not always easy to just overnight leave the corporate world and start your business, but we can take the actions towards it. I started by, training, becoming a therapist, learning how to use EFT, becoming, learning Reiki so that I can teach others it, but I can give Reiki to others. And then slowly, I left the corporate world back in June last year, and built my business slowly. But I think for anyone who feels like they are not following their purpose, or they're not doing a job that really makes them happy, what I did was, when I felt like I was in the right place, I literally had quiet moments. I just sit in silence, put my hand on my heart, and ask myself, what am I here to do? Who do I need to serve? What from my past experiences are lessons that I can share with the world, so I can help someone else, find some happiness and some peace. And slowly, again, these things don't come to you overnight. Sometimes they do, if you listen carefully, and sometimes it takes a lot longer. And then take a step forward, take a step of action, take that something to change your life the way you want. Don't just listen to it and ignore them. Write them down and take action, whatever small that action is.
Yes, exactly. Taking action, I just remembered something else, we don't necessarily blame ourselves, or what have I done wrong, but we are, by taking the action, by doing those small steps that you've described, we are taking responsibility for what's going to happen from now on. You don't have to blame yourself, but you do still need to take responsibility, and that's what you've done. And I've seen you in many other platforms, myself in a group that we were in, and you have blossomed from where you were, May, June last year to here, and that's just incredible to see. And I'm so glad you are here to talk to us today, Mahesha. Can you please tell our listeners where they can find you? How can they reach you?
Yes, thank you, Talay. So my website is mahesharice.com. You can email me at mahesharice.com, and you'll find me on most social media platforms, mostly Instagram, also Facebook, at Mahesha Rice.
Perfect. We will put all of those into the show notes so people can find you and reach out to you so that you can help them maybe heal, because this is very important to have, because everyone here is here to serve a purpose, and we can't find that when we are stuck in the past and looking to the past and feeling not very great in ourselves. So thanks, Mahesha, for being our guest today. It was lovely having you.
Thank you so much for having me, Tulay. It's been a pleasure.
Wonderful. Thanks very much for tuning into another episode of the Finding Serenity in the Midst of Chaos podcast. If you love this episode, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button so that you don't miss another video like this. Please also share this video with someone and this episode with someone so that other people can benefit from it too. And we will see you in another episode next week. Thank you.